If you search, when is the best time to book a cruise, you'll get 1,000 different answers. Book early. Book last minute. Book on Tuesdays. Wait for sales. Here's the problem. Most of that advice is outdated, oversimplified, or just flat out wrong. And by the end of this video, you'll either feel relieved or very uncomfortable about how you booked your last cruise. Why this question is so confusing? Cruise pricing isn't like airline pricing. It's not transparent. It's not consistent, and it's definitely not fair. Cruise lines don't reward loyalty to logic. They reward behavior. Think about it. You book a cruise 6 months out. You pay full price. You're excited. Then 2 months later, your neighbor books the exact same cabin on the exact same ship for $200 less. How is that possible? Because cruise lines are playing a completely different game than you think they are. Airlines use algorithms that adjust prices based on demand in real time. Cruise lines, they use strategy, they use psychology, and they use you. The reason this question is so confusing is because there isn't one answer. There are 5 answers. And which one is right depends entirely on what kind of cruiser you are, what ship you want, and how much risk you're willing to take. So let's break it all down. Strategy number 1, booking early. Let's start with the safest advice. Book early. When you book early, you get the best cabin selection. You get locked-in pricing. You get more time to pay. And if you're someone who values peace of mind, this is your strategy. Booking 12 to 18 months out means you get first pick. You want a midship balcony on deck 8? It's yours. You want to avoid being above the theater? Done. Early booking also protects you from price increases. If demand spikes, you're safe. If fuel costs go up, doesn't matter. Your price is locked. But here's the dirty secret. Booking early doesn't mean you're getting the best price. In fact, early bookers are often used as price anchors. What does that mean? It means the cruise line sets a high initial price to establish value. Then, as the ship fills up, they start discounting to fill the remaining cabins. The early bookers, they become the reference point that makes later deals look good. You paid $1,500 per person. Someone else paid $1,100. Same cabin, same voyage, different timing. Now, does that mean you shouldn't book early? No. It just means you need to understand what you're paying for. You're paying for certainty. You're paying for choice. And if that's worth it to you, book early without guilt. But don't assume you're getting a deal just because you booked first. Strategy number 2, waiting for last-minute deals. Now, let's talk about the most romantic strategy, waiting for last-minute deals. Yes, deals exist. I've seen 7-night Caribbean cruises drop to under $4. $100 per person 2 weeks before sailing. I've seen balcony upgrades handed out like candy. Last-minute pricing can be shockingly good, but it comes with trade-offs. Limited cabins. You're not getting that midship balcony. You're getting whatever's left. And what's left is usually an inside cabin on deck 2 next to the anchor. Worse locations. You might be under the buffet. You might be next to the elevator. You might be in a cabin that rocks like a boat, because it is a boat. No flights included. Most last-minute deals don't come with air. So if you don't live within driving distance of the port, you're booking flights on short notice. And we all know how expensive that gets. Last-minute booking works best for people who are flexible, local, and not emotionally attached to a specific ship. If you live in Miami, you're retired, and you just want to get away, last-minute deals are your playground. But if you're planning a family reunion, celebrating an anniversary, or need to coordinate time off work, last minute is a gamble you probably can't afford to take. The truth, there is no single best time. Here's the truth no one wants to admit. There is no universal best time to book a cruise. There is only the best time for your situation. I know that's not the answer you came here for. You wanted me to say book on wave season or wait until 90 days out. But cruise pricing doesn't work that way anymore. It used to. 10 years ago, you could game the system. You could predict the sales. You could wait for certain windows and almost guarantee a deal. Not anymore. Cruise lines have gotten smarter. They've hired revenue managers from airlines and hotels. They use dynamic pricing models that adjust based on booking pace, competitor pricing, and even how many people are searching for that specific sailing. So, when someone tells you there's one magic booking window, they're either selling you something or repeating advice from 2012. What actually matters? Understanding the factors that affect pricing, and then using that knowledge to make a smart decision for your trip. What actually affects cruise prices? Let's talk about what really drives cruise prices. Factor number 1, demand. If schools are out, prices go up every single time. Summer cruises, spring break, Christmas week, these are peak times. Families are booking, kids are out of school, and cruise lines know they can charge more. If you have flexibility, avoid these windows. Sail in September, sail in early November, sail in January after New Year's. You'll save hundreds, sometimes thousands. But if you have kids, you're stuck. And the cruise lines know that too. Factor number 2, ship and itinerary. Not all ships are priced the same. New ships rarely discount early. If a ship launched in the last 2 years, you're paying premium prices. The hype is real, the demand is high, and the cruise line has no incentive to drop prices. Older ships, they almost always discount. A 15-year-old ship doing the same. Caribbean itinerary as a brand new ship might be 30 to 40% cheaper. Same ports, same sun, older buffet. Itinerary also matters. Alaska in summer, expensive. Europe in June, expensive. Bahamas in February, cheap. If your destination is seasonal and you're traveling during peak season, expect to pay more. If you're flexible on where you go, you'll find deals. Factor number 3, cruise line behavior. Here's where it gets interesting. Some cruise lines punish last-minute waiters. Others reward them. Luxury lines, like Regent, Seabourn, Oceania, they rarely discount. Their strategy is exclusivity. If you wait, you might not get a deal. You might just get sold out. Mainstream lines, Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, they discount aggressively to fill ships. They'd rather sell a cabin for $800 than sail with it empty. So if you're cruising mainstream and willing to wait, you've got a shot. If you're booking luxury, waiting is risky. The strategy that actually works. Here's the strategy most experienced cruisers use, and it makes people furious. Book early, then watch prices. Most cruise lines offer price protection. If the price drops after you book, you can reprice. You get the lower rate, you keep your cabin, you don't lose your deposit. Some lines do this automatically, others make you call. But the option exists, so here's what you do. Book the cruise as soon as you know you want to go. Lock in your cabin, pay your deposit. Then, set a calendar reminder to check prices every couple of weeks. If the price drops, call and reprice. If it doesn't, you're already locked in at a rate you were happy with. It's boring. It's unsexy. But it works. Now, some people hate this. They say it's too much effort. They say it's gaming the system. But here's the thing. Cruise lines change prices constantly, sometimes multiple times a day. If you're not paying attention, you're leaving money on the table, and they're counting on that. The controversial take, if you overpaid for a cruise, it's probably not because you booked at the wrong time. It's because you stopped paying attention. Cruise lines rely on customer inertia. They rely on you booking and forgetting. They rely on you being too busy to check back. And that's where they make their money. The people who get the best deals aren't always the ones who book at the perfect moment. They're the ones who stay engaged, who track prices, who aren't afraid to call and ask for a better rate. You have more power than you think, but only if you use it. Final takeaway. The best time to book a cruise is when you like the price, you like the ship, and you're willing to watch the deal. That's it. Not because it's Tuesday, not because it's wave season, not because some blog told you to wait until 75 days out. Book when the value makes sense to you. Then stay engaged. Monitor the price. Reprice if it drops. And if it doesn't, rest easy knowing you locked in a rate you were comfortable with. Anything else is just gambling with better marketing. Now let's settle this. Do you book early or do you wait and gamble? Drop your strategy below and tell us if it worked. I want to hear your horror stories, your victories, and your best cruise booking tips. And if this video helped you, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching. Now go book that cruise.